Hi and welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. Today we are here to do Spookoplathon. It's Bookoplathon, but a spooky season version, which I'm very excited for. Bookoplathon is a readathon that usually happens in the month of September. However, this year it's been hosted in the month of October, which I'm super excited for. It's Becca's readathon over from Becca and the Books. I will link her channel and the announcement video down below for this readathon. But essentially, Bookoplathon is bookish Monopoly with prompts. It's something that Becca used to do every month on her channel as her own TBR game, and she made it into a readathon a few years ago. I have been doing it for the past couple of years maybe, and this year it's being hosted in October, and there's a whole new board which is a spooky version which I'm very excited to play. In a moment you will see my other camera with the board. I just have a plain black and white version. We are being very rustic and chaotic with today's vibes because I have black and white printed version of the board. I have no chance cards printed out and no community shelf cards, so we'll have to decide how that works if we land on one of those prompts. I also do not have a die, same as last year. I think I used an app on a phone last year, but I'm using my phone to film, and I have come up with a very creative way of finding the numbers for this year, which is having a die on Animal Crossing. So that's how we're going to host it this year. I am going to roll this die, which it is rollable. It's here on this stack of games, and I just need to press A and I roll it. And because I need to do doubles and I need 2 die, I will just roll it again, add them together. So we're going to use this, which I think is cute as hell. I realised after last year using an app on my phone that I had this and I could use this. So we're going to use Animal Crossing die to decide today's numbers for this game. I am going to go for 5 books, which is what I usually go for when I'm creating a monthly TBR, but the rules of this game do dictate that if you roll doubles, so if I roll the same number twice, you add a book to your TBR. So we will see how it goes. But let's dive in. I hope it makes sense, but if you do need more information, please have a look at the announcement video down below, which will have a much more of an explanation. But I will dive into it and I will explain the prompts I land on and pick books as we go. So let's see how we get on. Just checking the rules before we get started to see if I missed anything, and the only other thing I want to point out is if I cannot find a book to fulfill the prompt I've landed on, you may choose to roll again. However, if you choose to do this, you will have to select 2 books for the next prompt you land on. And again, if you roll a double, then you must roll again and add another book to your TBR. So let's see how we go. Okay, we are recording for the Monopoly board. My little partner in crime, my little counter is, or player, or character, or whatever you want to call her, is Celeste from Animal Crossing, obviously keeping up with the Animal Crossing vibes. So she's going to start on go, and let's roll my die to find out what we're doing for the first roll. Okay, so first one is 3, second one is 1, so we need to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's TBR Veteran, which is a book that's been on your TBR for a very long time, I believe. Let me just double check, because Becca does go through every single prompt on this board. Read a book that has been on your TBR for a very long time. I have just the right book in mind that I've just spoken about in another video. I'm going to pick that one now. And the book is Wanderlust by Jen Malone. I bought this one at my recent trip to the United States, and this has been on my TBR for, I'm gonna say, since about 2015 or 2016, because I remember it being one of the first books I added on Goodreads or had recommended to me on Goodreads. Never really seen it again, but I did find it when I was over in the US recently. This is a travel book following a girl and her older sister. They from Ohio, but they end up travelling to Amsterdam as the first stop, and There is also a romance in here, I believe. I am excited to read this one, and it's been on my TBR for the longest time. Honestly, so long. I do feel like TBR vet might mean physical TBR, but I'm going to take this one because I want to read it. And I'm excited to finally have this one after so many years. So adding this one to my TBR, it's not the spookiest start, but that's fine. I'm sure we'll end up with some spooky books in here, so let's continue. Roll number 2. We have 1 again. And 5. 5. So we are moving 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have feed scroll, which is confusing because I am on my phone filming. So, okay, let's scroll Instagram on my laptop because I do have my laptop here. So the first photo here, I do not own any of these books, I don't think. I would like to read, I'm intrigued by Bunny, I would like to read My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I'm intrigued by In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, but I don't own any of these. Second photo is Emily Wild's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I do have. I think it's just behind me actually. I do have this, and it's a proof copy, so I've had it for quite a while. I think this came out, start of this year. I haven't read it, and I feel like it's very autumnal, so this one could work very well. It's following Emily Wild, who is a scholar researcher, but she's not good at people, and she arrives in this new village. She has no intention of befriending anybody, or she doesn't care to spend time with another new arrival. Her dashing and insufferably handsome academic rival, Wendell Bamblebee. But as Emily gets closer to uncovering the secrets of the Hidden Ones, the most elusive of all fairies, she also finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell, and what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. I feel like this is a good autumnal one to add to the TBR, and I do need a push to finally read it, so I'm kind of glad that that one ended up on here. Okay, for the third out of 5 books, let's find our next numbers. We have 4 and 2, so that's 6 again. Let's count 6 spaces for Celeste. Okay, that's a Stephen King. I don't own any Stephen King books, but I'm pretty sure there is many other interpretations for this prompt, so let's see. Classic horror authors. Horror royalty with a fitting name. Read a book that has a royalty or court theme with a setting or a book. Okay. Read a book that has a royalty or court theme or setting, or a book with a royal word in the title, such as throne, palace, king, queen, court, etc. Let's see what comes to mind on my physical TBR. Okay, I picked one. The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean. This is getting some old proof stuff on my TBR, which is good. I have had this since, I want to say, 2020, July 2020, because I'm pretty sure that this is signed. Oh, it's not signed. I thought I'd taken this to Yelk. Oh no, there we go. It's on a different page. I took this to Yelk in July 2022, and I have not read it yet. This is a YA thriller, I believe. I have been told recently how good this is. I think my friend B said that they really enjoyed it, and I've wanted to read it again. I wanted to read it for a while, obviously, since I got this, but it did reactivate my want to read this. And it says, a royal reimagining full of scandalous secrets, rollercoaster romances, and one hell of a mystery. Scandal of the Summer, 2022. Finally adding it to my TBR. Let's find out what the 4th book is going to be. First roll is a 6 and a 2, so that's 8. Let's move Celeste 8 places. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is Broken Mirror. I remember the Broken Mirror prompt being very specific, but Becca really liked this prompt. I cannot remember what it was. Okay, read a book with a mirror on the cover or in the title, cracks on the cover, or a book with a reflected style cover like Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. Like Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This feels really lazy to just go and pick this off my shelf. However, it comes out in October. It's also really, really, really long. It's nearly 600 pages. I need a push to read this book. It's reflected. It's also royal, I think. It's set in the vibrant city-state of Castellan. A young author named Cal is stolen from his old life to enter a new one of luxury and peril. He's to become Prince Connor Aurelian's body double, shielding the prince from all dangers. As his sword catcher, he and Connor become closest brothers. Yet Cal lives for one purpose: to die for Connor. Lynn Castor is an Ashkar physician, part of a community ostracised for its rare magical abilities, but events pull her and Cal together into the web of the mysterious ragpicker king who rules Castellan's criminal underworld. Together they'll discover an extraordinary conspiracy, but can forbidden love bring down a kingdom, and will their discoveries plunge their nation into war and the world into chaos? I really need to read this. I've had this for so long, this proof. I am honoured to have this proof from Tor. Thank you to Tor, because I've had it for ages and I really need to get to it. So I'm glad to finally be given a push. Let's read this. Okay, for the fifth and final book on this TBR, I feel like this has gone quite well. I've not rolled any doubles, although I don't know if this can actually roll doubles. I've not used the die that much in Animal Crossing. I presume it can roll the same thing twice in a row. Yes, it can. It just did it. I don't feel so bad now, but it has gone quite smoothly for me. I shouldn't say this before the last roll. Let's do the last roll. 4 and 4. I totally jinxed that, didn't I? Okay, we're rolling again and we're doing 6 books. It's fine. Let's try again. 6 and 1. Okay, 7 spaces, and we're doing 2 more books, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that is Jigsaw. Let's see what the Jigsaw prompt means. Do you want to play a game, a book that features games, trials, or tournaments? Interesting. I don't know what's on my TBR that falls under that, but let's see what I can find. Okay, I think this is a hard one to judge when you don't know that much about a book, to pick it out and say this is about a game. So I'm gonna go for this one, which I literally just unboxed on another video. This is Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner, and it's about soccer. It's a romance following these 2 soccer players who are kind of rivals at the start, but then apparently decide to play together, but there's tension between them and the romance continues from there. And it's a game. Soccer's a game. So it counts. This feels a bit random and maybe not quite what is meant by the prompt, but why not? It works. And I'm adding a romance to my TBR, which is a bit lighter. Balances out Swordcatcher. Okay, the 6th and hopefully final book. We have 2 and 5, so 7 spaces again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Most recent purchase. Okay, I have a few to choose from here. I think I know what I'm going for though. So I had a few different books that I had bought back from the US, and this is one of them. I don't really know what this is about, but I love Nina LaCour. So let's read the synopsis together. This says, Mila is used to being alone. Maybe that's why she said yes to living in this remote place among the flowers and fog. But she hadn't known about the ghosts. It has ghosts? That's perfect for autumn. Newly graduated from high school, Mila has aged out of the foster care system, so when she's offered a job and a place to stay on a farm in an isolated part of the Northern California coast, she immediately accepts. She hopes that she will finally find a new home, a real home. The farm is a refuge, but also haunted by the wounds its young residents have come there to escape, and Mila's own terrible memories are starting to rise to the surface. Cool. I did not know this was what that was about. It's only like 250 pages, so hopefully it'll be quite quick. Look at the artwork, it's so cool. I love these covers. And I think this is probably going to be sad because I find most Nina LaCour books sad. I don't know. We Are Okay was really sad. I don't know about the others. Everything That Leads to You is not sad, but I remember. But yeah, who knows what this is going to be like, but I'm excited to add it to my TBR, and if it has ghosts, that's great too. So this is my TBR for October. Really not what I expected, but I'm excited to pick these up. It's a real mixed bag here, but why not? I'm daunted by this. I'm excited for a few are unexpected, but hopefully I will enjoy them. Thank you to Spookoplathon for making me choose books I would not necessarily have chosen myself to read this month. That's what I love about doing TBRs and readathons, so I'm very excited for that. But yeah, now I am going to jump into picking books, well, picking prompts for Mark. He has said that he wants to join in with this readathon, so he's asked me to choose some prompts for him, so we're going to continue with this and I hope it works out. Doing 5 books for Mark. I'm not sure how many he wants me to pick for him. Let's go for 5, and then I will insert a clip of him selecting books after this, I guess. So I'm going to put Celeste back on go. Okay, for the first one, let's go. We've got 6 and 5. Okay, 11. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have Spoopy, which is essentially just like cute spooky. Let's see what Becca's definition of spoopy is. Read a spoopy book refers to things that are spooky but not scary, like kids' Halloween movies. For this prompt, you're looking for something that embodies spooky season vibes but without the fear element. Maybe a middle grade or a cute witchy graphic novel. This prompt is solely open to your own interpretation. A spoopy book. And for this second one, we have 6 and 4, so we're going 10. Got big numbers on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Black cat, I think, is that prompt. Let's see what that means. Black cats, don't let him cross your path. Read a book with a cat on the cover or featuring a cat as a character or part of the story. Okay, a cat. For the third prompt, we have 4 and 3. Okay, we have 7 spaces to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have poll pick. You can do this however you like, Mark, if you want to open a poll to a group, if you want me to put one on social media. It feels weird that I'm talking directly to Mark through this video, but there you go. I don't know how he wants to do this poll. He could give a poll to me. Basically, choose a few books and then I will choose which one, or somebody will choose which one, or we will ask the nation to choose which one. I think that's 3 so far. So poll pick is the next one. For prompt 4, we have 1 and 4. Okay, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I was just thinking how we did so well without hitting any community shelves, and we hit a community shelf card. Okay, so essentially you write the prompts on the community shelf cards, and you must complete the prompt that you get. I have a workaround for this. I have TBR Tarot. So instead of community shelf cards, I'm going to use my TBR Tarot cards to pick a prompt for Mark. Instead of printing out community shelf cards and writing prompts on them, let's choose a random prompt from here. I'm going to go for, maybe further down, this one. Choose a book which begins with a prologue. Okay, there you go. That's the prompt. Choose a book which begins with a prologue. And that also saves me from printing the community shelf cards and writing them out. So, the 5th and final prompt we are going to choose is and 4, so we're going 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's highest rated. Okay. I think Mark might have gotten this prompt last year as well. And what we did is he chose like 5 books or something and picked... I looked up the highest rated one on Goodreads and he read that one. So we could do that if that's how you want to do it, but yeah.
Hello everyone, sorry I'm not in more of this video. I wanted to be, but it's been an absolutely stupid week. So Beth has done most of it on her own, and I'm just here to tell you which books I picked. We have 5 books to go with the 5 prompts, and I'll talk you through them. The first book for Spoopy is Avengers, The War of the Vampires, which collects issues 13 to 21 from Jason Aaron's 2018 Avengers run, which I've been wanting to read for a while. And it's about vampires. I actually don't know, so let's see. But that considers spooky and probably not scary because it's comics. For Black Cat, we're going for Kiki's Delivery Service, which I've also been wanting to read for a little while, which is the book that inspired the Ghibli movie. And it has a little cat on the cover right there. So that covers that. For poll, I'm not really on social media, so I asked a bunch of WhatsApp groups what I should read. Everything from Beth's Bookworm group through to the beer boys that I to talk about beer with, and almost everyone picked Harrow Lake, which is like a VHS style movie, but in book form. It looks like it's got everything. It looks like it's got a sort of haunted lake, an old film that was shot there, monsters. It's 25 years after some other incident, so it's got all the tropes of like slasher movies and VHS movies, and it is presented as this amazing like VHS book in a slipcover and everything. I think this might have been a proof that Beth got years ago, and it's been sat on my shelf for a while waiting to be read. As ever, all these books are books I actually want to read. So I'm going to be reading Harrow Lake for poll. For prologue, I'm going to be reading Don Coscarelli's True Indie, which again has been sat on the shelf a little while. Don Coscarelli is the filmmaker who made the Phantasm films that I watched all of last year, or he made the first 4 by rights. Someone else directed the 5th one. He's an older gentleman now. But yeah, it's all about his rise to filmmaking prominence, and as a horror filmmaker, I thought that was perfect for that. And it has a prologue called "So You Want to Be an Indie Filmmaker." I've also already started this one, so that's well underway. It's a lovely book so far. And for highest rated, the 4 books that didn't make the cut for the poll, we ended up, Beth took those, I think on Goodreads, checked which was the highest rated, and went with that one. So it was an easy way of getting reusing the 5 books that I picked. And I'll be reading Preventable by Devi Sridhar, which is effectively a real-world horror movie about how the COVID-19 pandemic could have been prevented. So how a pandemic changed the world and how to stop the next one, which is a big book, but it's Devi Sridhar is very erudite, very educated on the subject. She was one of the best commentators through the pandemic, and I've been dying to read this one. I started it on audio a while back, but I just haven't had enough time to get back to it. So that's going to be fantastic. So my 5 books to recap are Avengers, I think it's Volume 2, Avengers Volume 2, War of the Vampires, Kiki's Delivery Service, Harrow Lake, True Indie, and Preventable. And hopefully, now things calm down a bit, I'll be in one of the future videos to actually talk about these as the month goes on. So I'll see you then. Thank you very much. Bye-bye!
So that was all of mine and Mark's picks for Spookoplathon this year. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.